Sam here from Aldous Systems, and in this video I'd like to show you how nice shading motors are integrated into Control4. Here I have one of the nice shading motors. This is the Era In Smart AC. I've then also got the DIN mounted building management, which is the DMBM here. I've then got the DIN module, bus and power distribution, which is the DMBPD, and a Meanwell 24 volt DIN mounted PSU. The Meanwell PSU connects into the DMBPD to power it. On the back of the DMBPD are 4 small terminals, and in the box of the modules, including the DMBM, are the little bridging pins here. These pass through power and bus information to other connected modules. You can have up to 50 motors on a single DMBM on a bus cable running up to 600 meters. At the end of the cable run, on the last motor, you'll need to fit 120 ohm resistor. On the DMBM, I've got a 2-pair cable going to my motor. This particular motor requires 240 volts and also the bus communication cable. On the motor, we've got a couple of wiring options. We can operate the motor using contact closure methods, from switches and even light sensors, or how I have mine wired using the communication bus. Let's get straight into the integration. At the time of this video, the DMBM out of the box is on a static IP address of 192.168.0.1. You'll need to configure your computer to a static IP address in the 0 subnet range to be able to see the DMBM on the network. Once you've done that, give the DMBM a reboot, and we can now go to the web UI and configure the motor. My DMBM is on 192.168.7.128. The default login is admin and 12345. Along the top of the page, I click on devices and I have all DIN modules, smart motors and not enabled devices. If I click on not enabled devices, it's discovered the Era In smart motor. I press the add button to add it to the smart motors tab. Under the smart motors tab is a menu option with an edit pen. In this page is where we set the motor up. We can test the motor by pressing the wink up and down button. This will raise and lower the blind. We can also just turn the wink on and off. We have its description. I'm going to rename this to Office Shade and press Set. Application type is defining what the motor is doing, so I'm going to set mine to be a sunshade. We can then also define a room name, an orientation. We can set up where the blind is facing, and based on the location of the sun in the sky, the blind can adjust to stop any sun glare. Now we can set the limits. If I send the shade down and take it down to its lower limit, then use the tick buttons to make any fine adjustments to get the shade at the perfect level. I'll then press set on the low limit. I'll do the same for the upper limit, so I'm going to send the shade up. And make fine adjustments using the tick buttons, and then press set for the high limit. There are some other options here which I won't go into too much detail in this video, but we have obstacle detection, soft start and stop speeds, and position tests. But we've done what we need to do to get this working in Control4. I'll head over to Composer. The driver for Control4 can be found on the ChowMainSoft website, which is also a free driver. I've already downloaded it and put it into my Control4 drivers folder. In Composer, I'm going to search NICE in the driver search bar. Out of this list, I need to add the NICE Gateway driver instance. On the driver instance of the NICE Gateway, the IP address of the BMDM needs to be put in. When I press set, the connection status is changed to connected. Under the Actions tab, I press Import Motor and Groups, and it's found one motor. Now I can add the Smart Blind driver instance. Now we bind the shade instance to the gateway under the Connections tab. When I go back to System Design, we can see the shade name has updated to Office Shade. Now we can test the shade. If I double click on the shade instance and press close, the shade begins to go to its lower limit. And if I press open, it begins to go to its upper limit. I'll press stop halfway and then carry on opening. Splendid. Let's have a look on the interface. Here I've got the Control4 app on my phone. On the instance, I have shades, and then I have the Office shade. I'm going to send the shade down by putting the slider down to 0, and the shade is now heading towards its lower limit. I'll then send the shade to 50%. Then on to 100. So some of the features of these smart motors are the soft start and soft stop. They have obstacle detection that reacts to an alteration of 0.082 nanometers to protect the blind and or any object it may come in contact with. There's perfect alignment where if there are varied top limits, the blinds will end at the same point in both directions. Then we have the sun alignment, which I explained earlier, and the motor runs at less than 35 dB. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this video has been of some help.